a lot of y'all, people don't think you're cool because you're always disrupting the energy and vibe in a room, and you're making things feel awkward, uncomfortable, right? And that's what's giving that uncool tag placed on you. But I got you. We're going to undo that. We're going to undo that. But that's first come here. I'm about to give you guys a deep dive into what it really means to be cool, the art of cool, right? One of the most used adjectives when someone is describing or talking about me is cool. So I think that I'm the best person to talk to you guys about this. Not only that, is I'm going to give you a unique deep dive into how to be cool for all you guys struggling and what it really means, right? So let's dive in. Not gonna overtalk y'all in this aspect. I'm not gonna try to make this video too long. I got this because I know people have different learning styles, from audio, from visual, from kind of like I'm, I'm a cook for y'all. I'm a cook. So let's go. The art of cool. First, let me talk to y'all from an inner perspective. And this time I'm gonna break it down because it's gonna make sense. Inner. I understand that, first of all, being cool is subjective. This is based on each individual having their own opinion or perspective on what this really is. So first and foremost, no one can describe what constitutes or what allows someone to be cool, right? This can't be done. So understand first and foremost, and I'm just gonna do a little stick figure. This is you. I kind of really botched that, but as you. First and foremost, what is cool to you? I just talked to you guys the other day about your personal brand. In that video, I talked to you guys about your own core values. Now, in that, when you understand your core values, then you can really kind of like identify what is cool. So, for example, I think this is to me, right? This is to me, but I need you guys to understand this before we talk about it on another level. I think being kind is cool. I do. I think being real is cool. Keeping it real, right? We ain't faking, we ain't faking the fun. Keeping it real, right? I think being smart is cool. I think being authentic is cool. And this is just to say the least, right? I think someone who is purpose driven is cool, right? Understand that. You have to first identify what you think is cool about other people and ask yourself, do I think this is cool because I genuinely think this is cool? Like, these are the type of people that I gravitate towards. These are the type of people that I want to be more like, right? These are the people that I'm typically enamored by, right? When you really think about what draws you to people, what do you think makes someone cool? Because I want you to have the understanding and realize where it comes from. Identify where this comes from. Is it from external influence, or is it from internal influence? Is this something that you believe, or is it something that you have been led to believe? Once you realize that, then you can adopt it. Now, this is just surface level stuff, right? It's just surface level stuff. So when I say inner, this has to do with it being in you, not on you. You see, we're not talking about dressing cool or anything like that. And I'm not saying like that things don't matter. But what I'm saying is right now we're going to talk about the inner work, because it has to start inside. Because I don't want you guys, you might have to, practice it until it's there. But for the most part, it starts in here It starts in here. So if you don't get the inner work right, I can't just talk to you guys about clothes and shoes and things like that, because you might have the clothes of someone that's cool. You might have the attire of someone that's cool, but we need to make sure that you got it here before anything else. You understand? So inner work, inner work. Understand. I'm trying to figure out the best way to really break this down to y'all. So get me. We're gonna talk about aura. We're gonna talk about aura. I talked to you guys about this in probably in the last 30 days. I did a video on aura. And when it comes to your inner cool and aura, I want you to I want you to picture you radiating an aura or an energy or a vibe, right? So we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna draw like a freaking. This is you, and that's your aura. And the aura you radiate, for it to be cool, it means that you don't disrupt the energy and the flow or the vibe in a room. In order to do that, you have to first be in extreme peace within yourself. You have to be in extreme agreement within yourself. You cannot be in internal conflict, right? You have to be secure within yourself, confident in who you are, secure in knowing who you are, right? Superior understanding of yourself is what allows someone to be cool. And when you have this internal agreement, understanding, acceptance, appreciation, admiration of yourself, then are you able to give off an aura or a vibe or an energy that never disrupts the energy or flow of a room. Now, there might be sometimes an energy or flow that is combative or counterproductive, right, to one of peace. But even in chaos, Jay-Z said this in the song, show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Even in chaos, you will handle it in a cool way. So when you're angry, you're cool. When you're upset, you're cool, right? It's not that you don't display frustration. You just do it in such a cool way, right? Keeping your cool, but still standing on business. You understand what I'm saying? So you notice I don't really like talking like, hey guys, boom, we're gonna get to this, we're gonna do this, da 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 da. That's not who I am. And quite frankly, I don't believe that I have to. Other people might have to do that. That's who they are. That's their brand. That's not how I am. You understand? I don't have to do that. If you're gonna do it, do it. Nobody gotta do all that. But I'm digressing. So, first of all, your inner cool, when you are secure in here, it's gonna display out here. People will know it. They'll feel it. They ain't gonna be able to describe it or understand it. Now, I do want to tell you guys this, that there is this thing, right? And originally this was going to talk about in this video, but then it became a class. And I want to talk to you guys about how cool isn't really cool anymore. When I was coming up as a jit, it was like everybody wanted to be cool, but everybody not cool. And I'm gonna talk about this in the outer on what prevents people from being cool. But understand this: everybody wanted to be cool. Now, cool is shifting. And this is what I mean about when lame becomes cool. So understand this, and this is how you never fall for that. You gotta have your core values. I told you guys, you gotta identify what cool is to begin with. So The opposite of this would be what? Kind would be mean. Real would be fake. Smart would be foolish. Authentic would be copied. Purpose driven would be like zombie, right? Whatever. You got to be secure in yourself to even give off and have this inner cool. When you identify what you deem as cool, and it shouldn't be just so no one can tell me that being smart is lame, because it's like, no, that's crazy, right? Being smart is cool. It's always going to be cool. So when people start acting like being dumb or foolish is cool, or when people just be doing dumb and foolish things in their life and they have no regard for their future or the well-being and safety of themselves and others, to me, that's always going to be lame. Always. When I say kindness is cool, I'm not saying nice. Don't be a nice guy. I mean, be a kind individual. When people start being mean and all this other stuff like that, let me tell you, that would never be cool to me. It's always going to be lame, no matter what. I'm not saying if you display one of these things that you are a lame individual or you're uncool, but it can't uncool you very quickly. You could do uncool things, but still be a cool person. You see what I'm saying? So we got this here. Your inner cool, your inner standing, right, on what this really is, and having your core values align with that. And you'll give off an aura that never disrupts the energy in the room, never disrupts the vibe. Because a lot of y'all, and let me make sure me time stamp it. We had 11 minutes. So a lot of y'all, people don't think you're cool because you're always disrupting the energy and vibe in a room, and you're making things feel awkward, uncomfortable, right? And that's what's giving that uncool tag placed on you. But I got you. We're going to undo that. But that's first come here. So, second, outer. Why does this matter? Because I tell you guys all the time, if you think something and the rest of the world doesn't view this or agree, and I'm not saying it has to be like every single person, but your tribe, right? Your tribe of people. If they don't see this, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So this way we're going to do it like this. Boom. This way we're going to do it like this. Boom. We got, and I'm trying to process how to break this down to you guys. This is what we got right here. This is horrible. I'm not an artist, right? So judge me properly. Right? We're going to call this is society. Right? And then we're going to still bring you back down here. This is you. I'm trying to give you like some muscles or something. All right, this is you. Him. Right? And you still got this aura. Because you already passed this part, right? We already passed that part. So you still got that aura. You're cool. Right? Understand this. When it comes to life, people, if you play basketball and you're trying to make it to the league, you're not trying to make it to your own league, your make-believe one-person league. No. You're trying to become one of the best, if not the best, in the world at what you do. How do I do that? I literally have to be able to assess and compare my abilities compared to other people doing the same thing I'm doing. This is a constant. This doesn't change no matter what you're doing, right? No matter what you're doing. That's why there's world records. That's why we look at somebody like Casanat, who's the number one streamer in the world. How do we know he's the number one streamer in the world? Well, we have to compare his numbers to other streamers. That's just how it is, right? So when you're looking at this, you always have to look at society. And what is this? This is what we call this plus or minus, right? Plus or minus. This right here is what we call a standard. What is the standard of cool? Most people don't really know who they are because they don't build intentional relationships with themselves. Most people are uncomfortable in their own skin and are insecure. Most people don't have a personal brand and don't have core values that they are focused on, and they're not influenced and swayed by public or popular opinion, right? So the standard for most people is actually uncool, right? So if I was to set a line for this, if I was to say, I like to put things in numbers so it's easy to understand. 1 through 10, right? I would say the standard is, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to say the standard is 4 out of, let me write it in black actually. So we can go plus or minus. If this is helping anybody, do me like, comment, subscribe, so YouTube can know people are enjoying this. So we're gonna say the standard is 4 out of 10. That's the standard set for cool. So how do I know this, right? So again, we have our core values, and we're not going to change them because we're still going to be cool based on our own. Like I said, it's subjective. But there are some things that are just like, that tend to be of a standard, right? So they're subjective, but there's certain things that most people just kind of agree on that's cool. And what are some of those things, right? And these are things we might have to do separate videos on, right? But this is when you, your style, right? And etc. Like I'll sit here and break through all those things, style and etc. Right? So someone who dresses better than the average person, how good does the average person dress? So this 4 out of 10 is based on a couple things. And this is what I'm saying, looking at the standard set by society on what cool is, set aside from your own inner cool. Because people are going to feel this. They're going to feel the aura. They're going to feel your vibe. But this is how you start to rank against other people in the world who are also cool, right? So check this out. So the minus would be, right? So anybody who's a minus would be anybody who is 3 out of 10 or down. Anybody who's, what I would say is cool, is anybody 5 out of 10 or up. Now this is just my numbers. This don't really mean anything, right? So I'm gonna put this 5 out of 10 is up, is cool. This is the standard, and this is not it. How can I say this? Because for me, I'm saying this: kind, real, smart, authentic, purpose-driven. I'm not saying you got to be all these things. I'm not saying this is the only thing that I pay attention to. Nah, but what I am saying is, these are certain things that are of my personal brand and core values that I pay attention to. So it's easy if somebody's just being themselves, being authentic, they're smart, they're just, they're keeping it real, not being phony and stuff like that. They're kind. Then you can be cool to me. I would think you cool. Are you changing? Are you giving off this aura or vibe? Not necessarily, because you ain't really transcend yet, right? So I'm gonna just tell y'all this too. This level that transcending that aura, you're gonna reach that really at, like, let's say 7 out of 10. You're not even going, if you're not there and people don't be like you cool, you're not at 7 out of 10. So let's just say that off rip, right? But I would say that you are cool 5 out of 10. You got some inner work to do. You got some inner work to do, right? So I think the coolest people, do I think I'm a 10 out of 10? Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because at this time in reality, right now that I currently exist, yes. But 10 years later, I'm gonna be cooler, right? Based on not my inner metrics, but based on outer metrics, right? So this is just a confidence thing. But what I would say is I would have to be somewhere between here based on society, based on what society would say. How can I put this in? How can I compare this to something? Um, how you have NBA players who are in the MVP race. That doesn't mean these are the only top players in the league. There's a lot of other top players having a really good season. It's just right now, compared to others, they're not at that point yet, right? So right now, this is my MVP season. This ain't my MVP season. So if I look 5, 10 years in the future, when I'm based on the standards set, based on other metrics that come into what society would say is cool, right? I'm going to improve. I'm going to grow. I'm going to scale. I'm going to reach better heights. And this has to look like your home, your car, your clothes, the people that you're around, your group, your net worth, all these different things, right? That will apply to cool. Because this is how society works. My fitness will improve, my health will improve, all these things. And it's only going to add to me being way past the standard, to the point where, to be honest, I'm not even going to be 10 out of 10. It's going to be like 1,000 out of 10. It's going to be like, bro, you just doing the most. So breakdown on the article. I really hope this is easily digestible for you guys. Put comments down in the comment section. Other than that, man, appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. And of course, as always, all glory to God.